Today on the podcast, we are back with the lovely Kathy from Lichen Sclerosus Support Network and Lichen Sclerosus Podcast. If you haven't listened to part 1 yet, I highly recommend you doing so. Today we dive into how to support someone with lichen sclerosus, navigating vulnerability in relationship and opening up to others, the impact of medical gaslighting, and how to advocate for yourself in those moments, why community and shared experience can be so powerful, and how to keep moving forward even when things feel heavy. This is such a juicy episode, and I love the second part. And don't forget that you can get your free pass for the Wholistic Healing Summit happening May 11th to 15th. You'll learn all things lichen sclerosus and how you can support yourself on this path. Welcome back to the podcast, and we're jumping straight into it. Enjoy. Welcome to the Pelvic Power Podcast. My name is Penny, and I am the host of this lovely space. I am a pelvic floor yoga teacher who teaches people with pelvic pain how to use movement, breathwork, and body awareness to ease and manage their pain while living a pleasurable life. In this space, we'll be talking about all things taboo because we love it, and how to support your lovely pelvis and your lovely self on this journey that you are on. I'm very happy that you are here, and I hope that you enjoy this episode.
If you have somebody who has come out to you and told you about their LS, and you know that this is a person who's very private, unlike me and Jacqueline and Penny, who will talk about vulvas and, LS all day. But if you know this is a person who's not like that and they have disclosed this to you, you're special.
Yeah.
And you need to treat that position specially. Like, give it extra attention. So many times I've heard from members of like, yeah, I told so-and-so and they kind of just like brushed it off. They never asked about how I'm doing or anything again. And it makes that person feel invalidated. It makes them feel like, oh, you don't care. Because think about it this way. If somebody broke their arm, you would be asking, hey, how's your arm doing today? How are you feeling today? How are you? And so just make sure that you understand that they were vulnerable enough to let you in. And just if you're listening to this podcast, chances are that you do take it specially and give special care, but just be a little bit extra special.
Yeah. Oh, that's so nice. You're gonna make me cry. Always cry on the podcast. No, I love that because it's so true. Like, that person is special because you chose to open up to them. And it's the same that goes for when you're dating someone and you're opening up to them, because that's a thing too. Like, you get worried about telling people about like sclerosis, but also give yourself permission. If you feel like you are with a partner that you can like actually open up to, give yourself permission to open up so that they can actually feel the really beautiful thing of feeling special in that communication with you too, and that relationship. Yeah.
It's a connection. It's a special connection you have to this person.
Yeah.
I got a little sidetracked, but I brought up the Wholistic Healing Summit because we are having a few sessions on medical gaslighting. So we are going to have Dr. Kaylee Moss, who's going to be talking about a research study that the Center for Vulvovaginal Disorders did on medical gaslighting. And so she's going to talk about that research and also on ways that we can counter medical gaslighting. And then if you have an all access pass, which is our higher tier pass, we're going to have a 45-minute roundtable discussion on how we as patients and as a community, medical providers and patients, what can we do to counter and create safe spaces where these things don't continue to happen, and how can we call it out? What are our avenues? Because there are reporting boards that we can report to. Maybe we need to create like a form or a page that has like these boards available. I don't know. So I love having discussions. And so we're going to do that. And then we're going to have another session with Hillary Whittle, who is a patient advocate. And she's going to do a presentation on how do we advocate for ourselves in the room? How do we counter medical gaslighting? How do we prepare for these visits? Exact question that you had. And then her all access session is we're actually going to go into breakout rooms and practice having these discussions, and then coming back and talking about what went right, what went wrong, how did you feel, and what can we do better next time? Because it's really, again, it's all about empowering you. And if you've had these discussions before, then it's a lot easier to have them again when you're in that real situation. You're not off the cuff coming like, oh my God, what do I say? No, I've already practiced this. I got you. You're not going to be medical gaslighting me today.
Yeah. Be a badass in the room. I love it. Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Yes, because we are baddies. Okay.
Yeah, we
Yes.
are. I love that. So we've had this discussion before, you and I, or this conversation before. We don't call, and I love where this is going. We don't call lichen sclerosus disease per se. That's not a word that we use. What would you say to someone that is really going through, we've both been going through really tough moments with lichen sclerosus. What would you say to someone that's finding it really challenging right now? They might feel feeling a little bit hopeless. They might be feeling lonely. What would you say to them to make them feel a little bit more inspired and more hope and just a little bit more oomph of going forward?
Yeah. I get these emails every day. So this is what I tell people. I tell people I understand where you are, but I want to give you a little bit of hope. You can tame the beast. LS changes for good. It changes for worse, depending on what you do and what you don't do. And where you are today is not where you're going to be in 3 months, in 6 months, in a year. And we have so many stories of success. And some took a little bit longer, some got there pretty quickly, but it's a journey. And I am here to hold your hand on this journey. LSSN is here to be here and cheer you on and empower you on this journey. And you're not alone. It's not a cheesy saying. You are literally not alone. We had Penny and I 5-6 years ago. We didn't know each other.
No.
And now, look at us, we're here. And there are thousands in our community. And one day there will be millions. You are absolutely not alone. And you're just at the beginning of your journey. And we're here. We're here to help you. And one thing I do like to point out as well, it's not a straight road. There are going to be ups and downs, and it's expected. And so when you're up and riding high and everything is feeling good, and then you feel like, oh, I just took 2 steps back. No, you didn't. You're just going down a slope. There'll be another hill around the corner. It could be tomorrow. It could be the day after. But you got to keep moving. Yeah. If you stop, you will get stuck. And then that's the bad place, is to get stuck. I used to say years ago, I used to say, don't get stuck in the shit. You know, just keep moving. You got to get out of it. And, you know, sometimes it's finding the diamond in the shit, I used to say. And that's finding the one good thing in that day. Because there's always something good. It's just, do we see it? And sometimes you got to look through the shit to find it. But if you can find it and then find the one in the next day and then the next day, and guess what? You're going to start finding more and more. Because I believe in the law of attraction. Mm-hmm. And I think the more you look for these good things, the more good things you're going to find. And then the easier it's going to be. And then eventually it's going to be like, oh, there's a shit ton of good things and I'm feeling better. And so, yeah, keep moving. You're not alone. We're here. I'm an email away. Yeah. If I'm stuck in the shit, well, not stuck in the shit, but if I'm moving through the shit, which I do, I am not above this. Even though I've been in remission for 3 years, there's other areas of life that, it's not just always LS. I mean, LSSN, it's it's a big entity that's run by two and a half, three people. And there's a lot of work. And so sometimes it stresses me out. Sometimes it bogs me down, and I have to keep moving forward. I have to keep, because if I get stuck, is who's going to do the thing? And then who's going to be there? And so if you send me an email and I don't answer you for a week, just know you're in my queue and I will get there. But I just might be in the shit right now. I'm working through the shit. So just give me grace. And that's the other thing I like to say is give yourself grace. I have a whole podcast episode on giving yourself grace, because again, you can get in this cycle where you're beating yourself up. You're wondering, what did I do wrong? How did I cause this? I'm not taking care of myself. What do I need to do? All of this stress is then raising your inflammation level, which is then possibly kicking off your flare, making your LS symptoms worse, which then you're worrying about that. And it's just this big cycle, this circle that you're going, this perpetual cycle. And I'm here to yank you out of it. Give yourself grace. It's going to be okay. Do one thing at a time. Do what you can control. The rest of it, let it go.
Let it go. I love it.
It will be there, and you have no control over it. So why are you worrying about it? You can't do anything about it. Let it go.
Oh, no, it's so true. It's so true. And it's also like what you were saying about focusing on the everyday things, like the small things. Like I have a podcast episode about focusing on the glimmers, which is the opposite of a trigger, and just like finding those small things. It's so important to pull yourself forward, and also the work that you're doing for yourself just by tuning in on the podcast, or if you're joining the Holistic Healing Summit, you're showing up for yourself, and that's going to give you more power to continue forward too. So all the work that Kathy's doing for the community, like I think it's amazing in a sense that you're empowering so many people along the way.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, Holistic Healing Summit is amazing. It is transformative. And I'm not just saying that because it's my thing. It really is. We hear it year after year after year after year. It is transformative.
Yeah, I have people within the membership that have been for me 3-4 years that found me through the Holistic Healing Summit, and they're with me until this day. And it's just, it's such a great event that you put on. Do you want to tell us a little bit more about the Holistic Healing Summit? What dates are there? Where can they get tickets? I can put everything in the show notes too, but anything that you want to share?
Absolutely. So it is May 11th through the 15th, and we have sessions anywhere from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern. It's 1 hour presentations, which are available to be seen for free. You don't have to pay. You can see those sessions live. If you want replay access, we have 2 tiers. We have our value pass, which is $25 donation, which then gives you the replays for the general sessions for 30 days. But if you really want the biggest bang for your buck, you want the all access pass. So our all access pass is $125 donation, and that is going to get you access to the replays for life. And these replays are not just a bunch of videos. You actually can keyword search. So you're building your own video library, a lichen sclerosus library, which is freaking amazing. I use these replays all the time. I literally would get an email with someone saying, oh yeah, I have like these red bumps and things. And I will go in and I will keyword search red bumps. And it'll give me all of the times that the experts talked about red bumps. And I'll let them know, okay, these are possibilities, right? Because it's like literally, I say it's like having my own Wikipedia on lichen sclerosus that's been presented by the experts. And then you also get into all our all access sessions, which I have talked about some. So there's workshops like the scripts that we're going to practice for gaslighting. There's the roundtable discussion. We have Q&As that you can talk to these experts. And these are experts that most of them are not in the insurance system. And if you've ever had to pay for a consultation with a provider, a private practice provider, they can run anywhere from $300 to $700, and they're not even looking at your vulva. Like, you're just going in to just have a discussion with this person. And for $125, you can get in with 12 plus experts. Okay. This year we have urologists, we have gynecologists, dermatologists, psychologists, social workers, pelvic floor physical therapists. We run the gamut, and you never have to leave your home because it's 100% virtual. Okay,
Yay.
you
And
literally
I will
can
be
show
there
up in your
too.
pajamas.
Yeah.
Yes, and you come do some yoga with Penny, and so it really is the community coming together. And that's the other beautiful piece that we hear a lot is a lot of people have never talked to anyone with LS before. And so we have every day, we have 2 community sessions, and these are unhosted Zoom rooms that you can go in and just talk to whoever else shows up, and we have had people build friendships, real friendships that have lasted years, and connections from these rooms. Last year was awesome. I jumped in a couple of them, and there were like 10 people, and they were just having these conversations. And I'm like, I'm just a fly on the wall. Okay. Do you, boo? And so it really is. There's connections, there's education, and it's empowering, you know.
Mhm.
We had I've heard this a couple of times, where people are like, I've learned more in the last 2 hours than I have in the last 2 years with my providers, or 4 hours with 4 years. It really has been transformative,
Mm.
for these people. And
Mhm.
so I encourage anybody if to join, even if you're like, I don't want to, make a donation. Join us for free. It don't cost you anything, you know?
Mhm.
And we have a very, very, very packed schedule. I think I went a little bored this year. But there's something for everybody. One of
Yeah.
the and we listen to the community. So there are surveys that we do, asking, people what they want to learn about and what sessions we should cover. And there was one that was on about sex and aging, like, what positions can I get in? I'm a little older, you know, and so we're going to have a sex educator who's going to come on and talk about positions and props and things to help with, as we age or have mobility issues that can help us keep sex enjoyable. Um, we're going to have someone who actually the session on where we're having the medical gaslighting scripts and the breakout rooms that came from the community. So we are all about listening to you, what you want, and providing those spaces.
Mm. I love that, Kathy. Thank you so much for sharing that. And I can't wait to see everyone that's listening on the podcast. Wait to see you there. It's going to be an epic week. Yeah, it's going to be
Yeah.
great.
And
Yeah.
the website to go, it's lssupportnetwork.org/WHS. WHS. So if you go on
Yes.
our website, on our homepage, and do /WHS, or you just go on our homepage, we're gonna have
I'll
links
just pop it in
everywhere.
the show notes so they can find it easily,
Yeah,
and we'll go from there. Yay,
love
that's
it.
great. Is there anything else that you would like to share with the community today before we wrap it up?
Oh my goodness. We're doing so much. We are so if you're not on the LSSN email list, you want to jump on,
Get on it.
because that is where we do. First off, we're going to support you. It's not just an email list where we just send out information. We literally, on Wednesdays, we send out affirmations. We send you notifications about podcast episodes, blogs. We support you through the emails. We do virtual meetups. So it's usually the first or second Saturday of the month. We meet from 2 to 4 or 7 to 9 Eastern, and we educate. So we do an hour of education, and then we open the room for sharing, for questions. And again, the community aspect of that, people sharing their email. Where are you at? Maybe we can meet. All of these beautiful connections are being created in that space. And then we do a second meetup for our LS Warriors group. So we have a private community called the LS Warriors that's held on a Mighty Network space. And in there are literally over 200 hours of education, literally so much stuff. If you have an LS question, it's been answered in the Warriors. And that space is for our recurring donors, our supporters who support us at $19.99 a month or $199 a month or more. That's a private space for them. And then we also have a monthly meetup for them as well. If you want to learn more about that, it's at lssupportnetwork.org/membership. And then the reason I was like, other reason you want to be on the email list is we are about to launch our patient advisory group. And so we're going to be looking for patients to represent all the different demographics. So we want, a pregnant person, we want a parent, we want someone who's in menopause, we want someone who's reproductive age, all of the different demographics to be the voice of the community. Because one of the things that we've been in discussion, Jacqueline, like I said before, has been in remission for 6 years. I've been in remission for 3 years. And so we're a bit removed from where the person who is newly diagnosed or just looking into LS, where they are. And we want to always make sure that we are representing that voice as well as our voice, because we used to be that voice. Now we understand we are the light. We're the where people who are there want to be, and we can represent that hopeful voice, but we still don't want to dismiss or not provide the correct resources for the person who is still in the beginning of their stage. So we're doing that. And the other last thing I want to mention is that we are transitioning, and we are branching into lichen planus, which yes. So we are launching our lichen planus website by the end of the month, and so in May it will be available, and we're gonna be educating on all of the different types of lichen planus, because there are a lot of people in our community that have both, and lichen planus doesn't have a home right now. And so we're going to be that home. And in the next year or so, we will be changing our names to Lichens Support Network to still represent all of the lichens. So eventually, long term, we'll be educating and supporting on all of the lichenoid conditions, lichen planus, lichen sclerosus, lichen simplex chronicus, and all of the few others. There's not that many, but
Hey, this is fantastic. I love that. Well, thank you so much for sharing that. And thank you so much for coming on the podcast today. It's been such a great episode. I think that I've never actually sung with anyone before on the podcast, so I love that. That was a new one. Yeah.
Listen, I'm one of those people that literally is like, there's a soundtrack in my head all of the time.
Same.
And my daughter
All
is
the
like
time.
that too. Like she'll just be singing, like we'll be talking, and then all of a sudden we'll break out in song. So
I love it.
that's
I
who we
love
are.
it. Yay. No, thank you so much for sharing everything today. And everything that we mentioned will be covered in the show notes. And hopefully we'll have Kathy back on the podcast soon. And hopefully we'll see you all at the Holistic Healing Summit in May. So yay. Thank you so much, Kathy.
Thank you so
Thank
much. Thank you
you.
for having me. Have an
Thank you.
amazing day.
Thank you so much for tuning in to this conversation with Kathy. This was such an experience, and I hope that you learned a lot about yourself and about your lichen sclerosus. Feel free to share with us what you actually learned either through email or you can tag us on your stories. We'd love to hear about it. Until next time, remember to look after your beautiful body and remember that you are absolutely fucking amazing.